Welcome back, boys and some girls. I'm once again changing the format a little bit. We'll start as always with the hero spotlight, a quick hero spotlight. Then we move on to general playstyle, and then we finish up with some tips and combos. As always, just skip to the timestamp on the screen wherever it is if you're not interested to watch the spotlight. Loki's basic attack can deal damage, hit allies, and has no specific range from what I can tell. Pressing E allows you to place down a clone. You can place up to 2 clones, including yourself. That's only 3 Lokis. Clones can heal your friends as well as kill your allies. Beside that, if you press left shift, you can actually open up a healing pool around all of your clones that can be destroyed if you destroy the portal, the crystals above. Next skill is your F. It actually allows you to switch places with your clones. Next one is your right click. Whenever you press right click, you actually become invisible and your clone stays in front of you, but if you take any damage, you return back to normal. The last skill is your ultimate. It can be quite fun or quite annoying depending on who you copy and how you copy. If you copy Luna, you can basically play as Luna. Do everything that you can do as well as ult instantly. Okay, after you watch the spotlight, we can actually begin with the playstyle. In general, as a support, you want to be playing behind your team and in an elevated place. With Loki, this becomes even more important because playing around your clones and triangulating your allies or your enemies will always help you disorienting the enemies. There's nothing more satisfying than seeing Doctor Strange get shot from behind while his shield is up. If you play right behind your team, a simple Groot wall can isolate your tank and force you to use your healing pool, which has a long cooldown. I recommend using the clones behind the enemy and from above or from the side, and you shooting from behind your team. This also can help you in situations where you need to escape or heal your allies, because having your clones ready to open up pool or switch places with can save you the necessary time that you needed to place down clones. Because it's a bit slow and unreliable, sometimes you will teleport and still die, or the clone won't be placed due to some random obstruction, which can waste your healing pool and your tank will die. But let's get back to escaping dives. When a random spider jumps on you or greedy magic, if it's a simple dive, pressing shift might be enough to escape. However, smart divers will retreat when your healing pool is active, and they will return once it's on cooldown. To deal with those kind of divers, you will actually have to use your clones both for damage and for trickery. Later on, I will give you specific examples. Now that you survived the dive, it's actually time to return once again to healing your team. Your best games will be when both teams are grouped up, because Loki has AoE attacks. During those games, I recommend placing your clones facing the direction that you actually want to push, meaning placing your clones in all angles might not be the best bet. When shooting, try to aim at the feet. It seems to be the best option because your clones shoot from different angles that might get blocked or miss the ally, resulting in wasted shots. Besides that, depending on the distance, the shots will arrive at different times, meaning someone was at the location, might not be there anymore, so hitting the ground at least will give you some of the splash damage / healing. Loki can deal a lot of damage with its clones, so you can help your team secure kill while also healing them. The only downside is that sometimes your allies will block the shots even though they don't really need healing, so it can soak up some of the potential damage you had, but at least your allies won't die. And that's pretty much the overall playstyle of how you play Loki. Now let's move into more specific tips. Okay, the first one is for shooting. Whenever you're shooting, try to take advantage of Loki's AoE damage. It can help you a lot around corners or cover, as well as dealing damage to hiding enemies or ill allies behind cover. This next tip actually relates to the previous one kind of. It might seem simple, but it can lead to some funny and cool moments. I'm talking about shooting enemies from behind cover with full shots, not the splash damage. How you do it? You just place 1 clones behind cover, preferably in a straight line for when you need to shoot with the cover, and then just shoot to the other side of the cover. Just continue adjusting until the enemy you want to die dies. This is very map and situation specific, but it can lead to some funny moments and finishing of enemies or just basically forcing them to run away. When it comes to clones placement, spreading them out is generally your best option in most games. When you get into more specific grouped games, then switching to directional clones might be better. It will be easier to explain the practice range, so let's go there. Okay, so instead of going to the range, I actually went to a custom match to show you what I mean in a specific map. When you're attacking, for example, in Yggdrasil, what I usually do is I place a clone right there in the doorway. Usually I do it from down there, but imagine I put it a bit closer inside so they cannot shoot it from over there. I place 1 defensive clone, and basically I play around here. I jump like behind the pillars until they get destroyed. I go into this room, I come back. I just continuously move around here and just play around here. This is when I usually play when we need to basically when everybody just spread around, enemies are here or there, all around this corner. It's not specifically everybody's pushing. If everybody was pushing, I would do something more like this. Place one clone here, place one clone here. This way the clones cannot be destroyed as easily, but I can basically attack everything in the same place. And I can basically hit a lot of shots everywhere, destroy everything and deal a lot of damage, basically depending on the location that the enemies are. Let me give you another example. When the situation gets over here, if the enemies push you, what I love to do is basically place again over there in the doorway, because they usually are not looking behind them. And then I also have one above me behind. This is going to be destroyed. We can't do it here because the cart is already over there. But this will be destroyed up to this line. You can see this would be destroyed up until this pillar line, and this cannot be destroyed. So basically, I'm placing the clone on the edge, one over here behind me above, one over there, and basically I can shoot wherever I want over there to kill the enemies, just like that. Everything already will be destroyed, but now it's not. Now if I wanted to make this a bit more directional, depending on exactly where we're pushing, I could place them like this. Again, this will be destroyed easily, so we can just hit whatever we want. I can play a bit more back, a bit more front, depending on what we need. I can go like this, and we can just press the pull, basically get like a large healing area around here to help our team. Loki's ult can either be a game changer or feel completely useless depending on how you use it. It will require knowing how to play the characters that you're using the ult on. The most often ones are things like Mantis, Luna Snow or Cloak, because all of those ladies have very good ultimates that can save a whole fight. So if you have a Luna and Loki as supporting your team, you have nearly half a minute of immortality for the whole team. Might not sound a lot, like almost half a minute of invincibility, but when the whole game is 7 to 10 minutes, it is. Most divers will actually rush you during an attack. All you have to do is return fire and start walking back. They will just continue coming for you. At this point, when you are far away from your clones, you can just simply switch back with the clones. It will give you a few more free shots at the enemy who has no idea where you went to, for a few seconds at least. And if they are really smart, they will notice where you were looking and head over there. However, you don't really have to look where you're going for to teleport there, because you will teleport to the closest clone when you press F if you don't look at anything. And if it wasn't enough, you can actually teleport and instantly go invisible to help you even more. Speaking of switching places, using clones is also a great movement tool, but only when you're 100% sure that you're safe for the next 15 seconds. Otherwise, just save it for escaping. Always save one clone for escape or healing circle, and also try to place the clone near an ally if you're about to use your healing circle, so you won't actually waste it. Your healing pool is incredible. Most of the ults cannot even out-damage your healing, so when a Psylocke just dives you and ults, just press shift and just wait for the kind Japanese lady to stop attacking, and then just proceed to shoot her and ruin her day. Loki's casting speed is very slow, which means you will need to actually anticipate situations ahead of time. If someone is shooting you and you cannot win, just teleport away instantly, don't wait. Because until Loki finishes snapping his fingers, you won't be able to switch places with the clones, and even then there is a very small window that you can still die after switching places if your previous clone died. It is kind of rare, only happened to me once during the whole time I played as Loki. When it comes to healing priority, sometimes you will need to actually choose who to save. From my limited experience, saving the tank seems to be the best option, because they can hold the front line for longer, actually allowing a chance to win the fight, because the damage dealers can come back again from spawn. Loki can destroy the environment pretty easily with all his clones. I do it to make sure there are no enemies around me, nothing can hide again around me. Just make sure you save at least some kind of a cover for your allies and from your own flankers. If you died and your clones are still alive, press shift while you're running back from spawn. It might actually save your allies who are near any of your clones. Also try to aim at chest height and just constantly shoot. If the allies are smart, they will actually go in front of your clones to get some heals, even when you're not nearby and you cannot aim. Just try to stay a bit more consistent so they can get consistent healing. And this is pretty much all the tips I could find so far. Loki is a very high skill ceiling hero. There's a lot more I can learn from playing him. This is also the reason why it took me so long to actually make this video, because I wanted to get to like a certain level of playing him, a certain skill, so I can actually know what I'm talking about and have a bit more basis to my talking. It was a lot of fun playing as Loki, no doubt about that. I'm not sure which one is going to be next, maybe Adam or Invisible Woman. She's also a lot of fun and a lot of damage potential from her, a lot of utility also. I don't know, we'll see. But that's gonna be it. I hope you enjoyed this fun. If you did, thank you. If you didn't, I need to know why so I can actually improve it. Besides that, keep us safe. See you in the next one. Bye bye.